guys, it's Shay. Welcome back to my channel, Shades of Injustice, where we talk all things social justice, including but not limited to racism, domestic violence, sexual assault, BLM, and so much more. Today, we're actually going to be talking about teen dating violence. February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, which coincides with the color orange, hence why I'm wearing orange today. So I want to talk about some facts, some things to look out for, some red flags to look out for, and then if you are a parent, things that you should be talking to your child about. So what is teen dating violence, you ask? Teen dating violence is a pattern or a cycle of abuse or threats of abuse in an intimate partner relationship. It can be verbal, it can be physical, it can be sexual, and nowadays it can even be digital. Teen dating violence usually ranges anywhere from 12 to 19. Violence does not always mean physical. I know even when growing up for me, when I heard, domestic violence, or you hear about domestic violence, you think about the physicality of it. First, I want to give some statistics on teen dating violence. About 1.5 million boys and girls admit to being in an abusive relationship. 1 in 3 adolescents are in a physically, sexually, emotionally abusive relationship. 1 in 10 high school students have been in a relationship where they have been purposely hit, slapped, punched by a boyfriend or girlfriend. Girls between the ages of 16 and 24 have the highest rate in being in an intimate partner violence relationship. About 50% of adults who have been either in an abusive relationship or been raped or sexually assaulted have attempted suicide. And only about 1 in 3 teens who have been in an abusive relationship have actually confided in somebody. So those are a little bit of some known facts about teen dating violence. And so why is it so important? When you are a victim of domestic violence, especially at a young age, there's a cycle that starts. And once you become a victim of domestic violence, you are 9 times more likely to be in another abusive relationship. I currently am a social worker, and a lot of my clients that I have talked to, they have not just been in 1 or 2, some of them have been in numerous, like too many to count, relationships, and it starts back to when they're teens. So that's why it's so important to raise awareness now on what to look for. It's very important to be aware of the signs, not only if you're in a relationship, but also if you're friends to somebody who is either abusing their partner or being abused by their partner, so that you can be somebody that they can confide in. Another reason why we raise awareness for Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month is because a lot of parents do not talk to their teens about what domestic violence is or what dating relationships look like. About 3 in 4 parents have not talked to their children about domestic violence and what it looks like. It's very important for parents as well to be well versed, so that way when their children are in relationships that seem a little off, they know what to look for. There's a lot of stigma about what dating violence is and who it can affect. Dating violence can affect anybody. It has no bounds. It knows no bounds. It doesn't care your socioeconomic status. It doesn't care how much money your parents make. It doesn't care what kind of car you drive. It also doesn't care about race. So to go into the different types of abuse, you have physical abuse. That can be hitting, punching, grabbing your hair, drawing a knife on you. Emotional abuse is non-physical abuse. So threatening you, calling you names, preventing you from hanging out with your friends, stalking, gaslighting. Gaslighting is a way of manipulating and controlling you. Could be your partner saying, "Are you sure you heard that right? I think you're going crazy." Or, "That's all in your head. That never happened." Emotional abuse can also be damaging your property. So if they throw your things and break them when they're mad at you, throwing your phones out the window, punching walls. When your partner is monitoring you as far as who you're calling, and they are like, "Oh, you can't talk to this person anymore because we're in a relationship," and they try to take your phone and see how many times you talk to them or see who you're texting, that's emotional abuse. That should not be happening. I've actually had that happen to me in a relationship when I was 19. I was dating this guy, and every time I went to his house, he would always pick up my phone and scroll through like, "Who's this person? Who's this person? Why are you talking to them?" That should never happen. So if anybody is doing that, that is red flag. Sexual abuse is any action that someone takes to manipulate or control the behavior, whether it's wanting sex, wanting oral sex, especially if you don't want it. So if you're saying that you're not ready to have sex with this person and they coerce you into having sex, or you say that you don't want it right now and they force you to have sex, or they're constantly talking about, well, I like oral sex, so you need to give it to me, and then you end up giving in, that's sexual abuse. Because that's not something that you wanted to do. Just because they want it, they need to wait until you're ready, if you're ever going to be ready. So with them coercing and manipulating the situation in order to get what they want and their desires, that's sexual abuse. Unwanted kissing, rape, or attempted rape. And you do not always have to say no in order to be raped. That's a common misconception. Just because you don't say no does not mean that somebody did not rape you. If you guys had talked about that you weren't ready to have sex and next thing you know this person is on top of you, they're raping you. And sometimes you could be too afraid to fight back because you're afraid of what may happen. And you don't want this, that's rape. So don't allow somebody to say, oh, you have to say no in order to be raped. That's not true. If you did not consent, that's rape. Another type of abuse is financial abuse. If your partner is constantly going up to your job or calling your job and harassing you and you end up getting fired, financial abuse. Digital dating abuse is using social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, either bully, harass, stalk, or intimidate you. So using these sites to make you feel bad about yourself or anything like that. So some examples are saying who you can and cannot be friends with on Facebook, using their Facebook statuses to degrade you, keeping tabs on you on Facebook, so seeing what pictures you upload and see who you're hanging out with or where you're going, and they're calling you, oh, why are you with this person? You didn't tell me you're going to be hanging out with that person. All these things that I've been going over, all these types of abuse have a major effect on you. They are very traumatic. A lot of people present with PTSD symptoms from being in abusive relationships like this. They either become depressed, get anxiety. A lot of times, like I said before, they want to commit suicide. A lot of times you feel like you're no longer in control of your life and you're trying to figure out what's going on and how you can maintain control. Getting control back over your life is leaving that abusive relationship. If you are a friend or family member of somebody who's in an abusive relationship, continue to be supportive. The more support you show this person, when they're ready to leave, when they finally have the courage to leave, you are going to be the first person they come to. I just want you to know that no matter how long you've been in this relationship, what has occurred in this relationship, you are not alone. You can seek help. It is not your fault. And that's something that I want to say. It is not your fault. Do not feel that because you got in this relationship, you deserved it. Nobody deserves to be in an abusive relationship. No matter if you've been in an abusive relationship before, no matter if you've seen it in your home, nobody deserves it. Now, like I said before, it is a cycle. And especially seeing it or growing up in it or experiencing it at a young age, you are more likely to be in it again. That's why it's very important to either talk to a counselor. So go get therapy, go get help. There's nothing wrong with talking to a therapist about what you've been through, because they're able to break it down for you and help you recognize red flags. So next time you're ready to enter a relationship, you can see red flag, and you bounce. There is a national dating abuse hotline that you can call 24/7 if you feel like you are in an abusive relationship and you need help, whether it is to talk to somebody or trying to figure out resources that you can go or how you can get out of the relationship. Just want you to remember that love is not abuse. If somebody's abusing you, that is not love. That does not mean that they love you. Thank you for joining me today as we're taking the shade off injustices. Until next time.